helping people achieve the American dream of starting a business. I'm Lisa Oligas, and this is Newsmakers. In this edition, we look at an upcoming event called Palooza. In the style of competition shows like Shark Tank, individuals in the community, college, and high school students even pitch a business idea in hopes of getting funding. We'll talk with coordinators and previous winners. We begin our conversation with Abby Rogers and Jennifer Hood with the Small Business Development Center located at the MSSU Plaster School of Business. Welcome to Newsmakers. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having us.
This is such an exciting event. You've done this for several years. When did Palooza actually begin?
Palooza actually began a few years ago in 2024. And to start, it was just a collegiate competition here at Missouri Southern. And over the years, it has grown into a competition that's open to high school, collegiate, and now the community as a whole.
So it's pretty exciting. For those who aren't aware, tell us, what is Palooza?
Sure. So Palooza is essentially a business pitch competition. So we invite high school students, college students, and members of the community to come in and pitch their business ideas. They will actually pitch those ideas to a panel of judges, so they'll receive some valuable feedback that will help them essentially grow their business ideas and hopefully make them feel a little bit more confident and ready for the business journey.
Yeah. How can this be a good way to start a business? I mean, do they have to have it sort of up and running, or can it be just a concept? What all are they expected to know and bring in?
It's great if you're going to start your business, because whenever you start your business, you're generally pitching your idea anyway to investors or even property managers if you want to rent their space to kind of sell your business. And so it's a great opportunity to do that first step. There will also be the panel of judges, which we talked about, and they will give valuable feedback back to the person that's pitching. And then there's also the aspect of networking. So it is open to the community. We have different businesses that are planning to come, I believe a few news outlets. And so it's a really good way to get their name out.
Yeah. So this year you are expanding to high school. Are the criteria a little bit different for the high school? I think we did talk about this in the fall, trying to get teachers to get the students on board. How is it different at different levels of experience?
So high school, it is a little bit toned back. For them, it's more just about experience. It's less prize-based, but it is for them to just have basic pitch experience and business experience one-on-one. And then collegiate is kind of at the same level as the startup and scalability, where we want them to come prepared and be able to speak about their business idea or their business in a way, and just be able to do it in a way that's good for them to get their name out.
I mean, what are the keys to a good pitch? What would be some things, hey, you should be ready to
Sure,
know
yeah.
this or that, or to say this or that?
So in order to have a good pitch, you want to be clear, concise, really understand your business idea, understand how you plan to generate revenue, and who your customer base is. Definitely a few tips might be cut back on your presentation a little bit, not too many slides or too much data in your slides. Really try to connect with the audience and the judges. But overall, you just really want to know your business. Practice, practice, practice is key.
I was going to say, how important is being practiced?
Yeah, you definitely want to practice, be well rehearsed, but still inject your personality. The key is to really know your business inside and out, so that if the judges ask you questions, and they will, so when they ask you questions, you're prepared and you know how to answer those questions. So super important to prepare and to rehearse your material.
Okay. How is it different or the same as Shark Tank? I mean, you said judges do ask questions. Are people expected to know profit margins, things like that?
So there are some similarities to Shark Tank. It is a business pitch competition to a panel of judges. Some differences is that ours is really more motivational, educational based, not as cutthroat as maybe Shark Tank would be.
No, Mr. Wonderful.
No, Mr. Wonderful. But you are still pitching your business, so you want to conduct your research. You want to know your business inside and out. It's very important. and you are competing for prizes, not equity in your business, but prizes. So yeah, some similarities, but a little less cutthroat.
Well, Abby, you mentioned the word scalability. So let's talk about that. What does that mean for those who might not even understand sort of some of those business concepts? Because we're going to be talking to some of the scalability winners. What do you mean by that? But explain that concept.
So for this competition specifically, our definition of scalability is if you've been in business for more than 3 years. And with scalability, it kind of comes in the name. You want to scale the business that is already established, whether that's customer base, product, financials, or investor base. It also could be location as well. And so it's really just you've been established, you understand the ebbs and flows of your business, and how are you wanting to expand that?
Yeah, so it's taking your business maybe to the next level.
Yes.
Starting out as a small business. Does it help to know, hey, I do have a good customer base? You know, sharing that information is important?
Yes, that's always important. You are trying to convey your business in a way that's profitable for you and others. And so if you do want to expand your customer base, we do want to touch on that. You want to touch on all aspects of your business and really essentially sell it in a way.
Yeah. So talk about the prizes. It's money, which you can invest in your business. And then talk about the differences between a scalability winner and, say, a startup winner. What is the difference there?
So actually the prizes for those two categories are actually the same. So the first place prize, you will get a monetary value. It's not determined at this time yet. We're still waiting on a few sponsors to come in. But we do have a few that we can talk about. There will be a Joplin Area Chamber of Commerce membership. There'll be a Carthage Chamber of Commerce membership. There will also be a website package provided by SoloLink for each of the first place winners, and then eventually a monetary value that we'll announce at a later date. And so those two categories do get the same prize amount, but that way, we chose to do it that way because it's two different categories. They're important. Startup is important. Scalability is important. And we want to just make sure that everyone gets something.
So scalability is established. How far along should a startup person be, or can it be just their idea at that point?
It can actually be an idea. It can be an idea up to, the category that we said was up to 3 years. So if you've been in business for less than 3 years, you're considered startup. That can be from an idea. It can be from if you've been running for a year and you want to talk about that. But anything from day one to less than 3 years.
So let's talk about, can people compete more than 1 year in a row? I'm like, hey, I tried last year, but I'm coming back with better ideas. I mean, are there any rules against that?
There are actually no rules against that at this time.
All right.
And so, yeah, anyone who has previously competed is welcome. We especially welcome collegiate students to come back because we think it's important for them to get the exposure and the understanding. And yeah, if you have a great idea and you expanded on it and you have new ideas with it, or if you want to try again with a different pitch, absolutely anyone is welcome back.
Jennifer, any do's or don'ts of things you don't want to do maybe during a pitch?
Oh, I would say it's important to watch your time and be open to feedback, have a good attitude about it, practice, be receptive. Those are all key, and try to shake off the nerves a little bit.
Yeah.
Engage the audience is important as well. But it's a friendly competition. The whole purpose is for it to be educational, to learn, and to find ways that it can help you gain some momentum in growing your business. And feedback from the judges is key. It's really
Is it important when you're pitching something? I mean, you've already got the idea. You think it's a good idea. Is it important to also know what you're asking for of, you know, when you're making this pitch, like, hey, I need to grow my business, these things? Is that important as well?
I think it's important to think about that more so for the scalability category. Startup is probably more just gaining some initial feedback on your idea and how to start. Scalability is probably where that would focus a little bit more.
Okay. So you mentioned sponsors. Who sponsors an event like this?
Absolutely. So we have Freeman Health System, Arvest Bank, SoloLink, American Media, which is AMI Radio. We have Joplin Chamber of Commerce, Carthage Chamber of Commerce, and First Community Bank. And so we are actually still continuing to have a call for sponsors. So if anyone is interested, we would love for them to contact us. And we're just extremely thankful for our sponsors because they allow us to put this competition on.
Yeah, and it may lead to a business that booms in Joplin. So what is the deadline to register for someone who wants to take part in giving a pitch?
Sure. So the deadline to register will be Sunday, March 22nd at 11:59 p.m. You will submit those through our website, which is www.mssutraining.com. Our panel of judges will review the submissions, and then via email we will send out just notification to the finalists, and they'll receive that by Thursday, March 26th.
Okay. So, and then the event itself takes place in April. Tell us when that is, and can people come and watch these pitches?
Absolutely. It is open to the community. It will take place on Thursday, April 16th and Friday, April 17th. We will have high school and collegiate will take place on Thursday, and then Friday will be startup and scalability tracks. We encourage the community to come. We want you to listen, network, just be there. We want to have this be a sense of community for entrepreneurs, whether that's high school all the way up to if you're in scalability.
Excellent. Well, ladies, thank you for joining us, giving us all this great information. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, we talk with several winners of the competition to find out about their business endeavors.
I learn best by doing.
I enjoy helping others.
I want to leave my mark.
Here, I discovered what I can do and who I can become.
What begins on this campus moves into studios, hospitals, and communities around the globe.
This is Missouri Southern State University.
Explore boldly.
Care deeply.
Impact globally.
One expanded mission built with lion pride.
Welcome back to Newsmakers, where we are taking a deep dive into Pitch Palooza, the competition. In this segment, we talk with previous winners of the business-based event. Joining our conversation, our startup winner for 2025, Aaron Stockton of Shadow and Light Creative, scalability winner for 2025, Taylor Burton with Super Duper Clean, and scalability winner for 2024, Tabitha Carter with Cheeky Fun. Welcome all of you to Newsmakers, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'd like to have you all go down the line. Each one of you tell us about your business. So Aaron, let's start with Shadow and Light. What is your business?
Yeah, so Shadow and Light is a video production company. We specialize in ads and short form content. We also make short films. And it's actually kind of fun. I started as a junior high kid in my bedroom floor with 2 VCRs and my parents' Handycam. And that passion has just carried out through my life and became my business a year and a half ago.
That's awesome. All right, so now next, Taylor, tell us, what are we watching at Super Duper Clean?
We're a mobile detailing company, so we focus on interior and exterior cleaning of your daily driver or your fleet vehicles.
Awesome, okay. And let's talk about Cheeky Fun. Tabitha, what is Cheeky Fun?
Cheeky Fun is a live art entertainment business, so I manage other artists, and we go out and we face paint and body paint and, have all kinds of services for parties and events around the area, the 4 states, really.
All right, excellent. So you all have a business that's up and running now. How did Pitch Palooza competition and your win impact getting that business rolling off the ground, maybe expanding?
Yeah, so doing the competition really helped me refine my confidence first and foremost, and let me see that I do have a viable idea that can go out in the market. I was able to figure out from the judging what I had some areas lacking in and some of my weaknesses, and was able to bolster those through that. And then I was able to find clients from the competition.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So what things, when they said, oh, you might want to work on this, what did you improve?
One of the things that they specifically asked me about was my 90-day marketing plan.
Okay.
And that helped me refine, just through some of their suggestions, how I could get up and running and launch early.
Okay, so let's talk about Super Duper Clean then. Tell us what you learned from being in the competition.
Being in the competition, we were able to focus on, like you said, our marketing. It gave us an opportunity to be in the community and be at Third Thursdays. And we also are now a part of the Chamber of Commerce. And it added a lot of credibility to Super Duper Clean. So the public trusts us more.
Did you have a certain need to use the funding that you won?
Yeah, the funding went to a lot of our like paper advertising and the things that we handed out for Third Thursday. So like we had to get a table tent, tablecloth, all those types of things.
Yeah, very logoed in merchandise and branding, right?
Yeah, the branding stuff was a lot more than I expected.
There's a lot to it. All right, well, so Tabitha, tell us about Cheeky Fun and how, I mean, you were the OG of Pitch Palooza. What was it like to win, and you know, what did it do for your business model?
Yeah, I was really scared, and it's very hard to sell myself and my business. It was very, you know, nerve-wracking. Plus, it never happened before, so I didn't know what to expect, except maybe some videos I could find on YouTube of other similar things in other areas. And so when I went in there, and just a minute, I was up against somebody who had like a robot dog and somebody who was a doctor, and I was like, what am I going to do? Because I'm an entertainment, am I just going to throw glitter and try to convince these people? It was a really great experience to, what, you know, Aaron said was just kind of focus on, yes, I am valuable. This is a real business. This is a real thing. And in addition to that, I really did make really great connections. I mean, I see these guys all the time, and I'm really thankful for it, but I made great connections through that. And the feedback was a huge confidence builder.
Talk to us about the feedback. What advice did they give you?
Yeah, so one part of it was I had a great idea, but I didn't have a good narrowed down idea as in terms of the steps I would take to get there. I just had this really good idea. And there was a lot of conversation about how could I organize my business more. I've been doing things a lot on paper, you know, and so a lot of the feedback was, okay, there are some things that you can put in place to get you to where we think you're saying you want to go. And I met some great connections both in the audience and even some of the judges who helped me narrow that down. That's a big thing. I didn't really have like a mentor to sit down with me and say, these are some things that you can do to just help organize your business day to day. A lot of us wing it in the beginning. You know, it's not like most people didn't go to college, and even if you did, you're starting a new business, so none of it would really make sense, I guess. Yeah. And that was helpful. That was really helpful to have.
I think a lot of the business ideas start as a me, myself, and I.
Yes.
But in this case, have you all started to have employees, and did you have to learn that aspect of business?
Yeah, so I use a lot of subcontractors. It helps me keep my overhead low and keeps my business flexible for the different projects that come along. And so that's how I have learned to operate.
And then do you have employees at Super Duper Clean?
No, we have proteges. And it adds a lot of confidence and trust with our clients whenever I do introduce the helpers as my protege. So that's what we like to call our employees, as proteges.
Okay. How many, though, do you have as a staff, so to speak, to get it done?
We have several different, we have several employees. Mm-hmm. We have employees just for the fleet detailing, and then we have employees for our private residential employees.
Okay. Tabitha, how about you? I mean, face painting, how many different people join you when you go? And if you went to a festival, you can be overwhelmed with lines of people.
Yeah, so over the years, we've added quite a bit, contract workers. I mean, artists work, they're artists, you know, so it's a very fine line of having them work for you in a way that's respectful of their practice. I mean, they're all well-trained and professional. And so we have anywhere between 5 and I would say maybe 8 contract workers per season, but they do more than just face painting. They're incredible artists, so they do airbrush and face painting and, you know, caricature drawing and all kinds of things. So we're very similar where we have contract workers, and the confidence did allow me to go and talk to people and bring more people on board with my dream, my vision.
Let's talk about the challenges you might have faced in the first years of your businesses, and are there still challenges that you're facing? I know, like Tabitha, yours might be that, I mean, you are sort of seasonal, and there's festivals, so if something got canceled, how do you scramble, and what are some of the challenges in the face painting business?
Yeah, that's weather. Weather is a big challenge, but we have started doing things. In the beginning, I started this just as a way to help supplement income, so it wasn't an idea in my mind to start this big business and have other people work for me. It was just me and my little kid, who would come along with me. And now I have a great community of artists, so we discuss things, or we come up with ideas of maybe we've added Mrs. Claus in the winter time, and I also do look forward to January, which is my do nothing month. I don't know about these guys, but I need a month to just reset, and that also was part of meeting different people and how do they handle the slow times, because that season is slow for a lot of businesses, and meeting all of these people at the competition was so helpful in understanding, okay, it's important to rest and get some relaxation the 1 month out of the year we get a chance to, because our brains are going 24/7.
You guys tell me, what are some of the challenges you face in your business?
Yeah, so for me, the challenge is always weighing the creative side and the business side and trying to mesh those two together and help my brain to understand that, okay, right now we're working on this, even though sometimes I really need to be over here working on this part. So, it's that balance of just keeping things steady there and staying stable on that.
Yeah, are you deadline driven?
Most of the time, yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
trying to hit those deadlines for projects that have to go to air or anything like that.
Yeah. So Taylor, talk to us about, weather can be a challenge for you as well. If you're washing cars outside, what are some of the other challenges to dealing with a new business?
Dealing with a new business, there's challenges of juggling everything on your own. So having to not only focus on labor and doing the work and making sure that the customer's happy at the end of the job, but also setting up that work, setting up the help, doing the marketing and advertising, having the forethought to take the before and after photos and capture the content, and then having the skill to actually, curate that content in a way that's going to be appealing to a customer.
It's so nice to hear somebody else saying these same things.
You're the marketing department owner,
Yes.
operator, manager, all rolled into one,
Yeah,
right?
I'm the secretary.
The therapist.
Yeah, everything.
All those jobs. So what would you tell others who might come to Pitch Palooza about that experience, what they should bring to the table, what they might want to do to prep? What advice would you give to others?
The first bit of advice I would say is respect your idea enough to be prepared when you show up. So if you're going to get on stage in front of people, which I know is a scary thing, do it. Do it for your business. Do it for your idea. Respect it enough to get out there and be prepared and show people what you're really capable of doing. And the second thing I would say is don't be afraid to start conversations with people. Go up to people and say, hey, can I show you what I'm working on? Because you've got a great idea and it's worth telling people about.
You said it was scary, though. Did you practice your little pitch in advance?
Absolutely. Over and over again until I knew it cold.
Yeah. Taylor, what would you say?
I would just tell someone to go out there and do it. Katie Kelly, that's the woman from the Small Business Development Center who actually encouraged me to sign up for the competition.
Yeah.
And I would just be like Katie and tell someone just to go out there and do it. See what happens.
Do you feel like you learned something in the process of doing the competition? Like, I wish I would have had this in my head, or been prepared. I don't know if you bring numbers or if you bring, ideas of who you're going to market your pitch to.
I had been going to the Small Business Development Center and having frequent meetings with Katie Kelly and their team since, I guess, the birth of my company.
Yeah.
Right? She's the one that helped me get on track to being legitimate and setting up my bank account and insurance and all these other things that, whenever we were washing cars in the driveway, we didn't have any of those things or have any idea how to get them.
Yeah.
Right? So without their help of just, that whole thing of preparing your business, to develop it into something that is real and respectable, and like you said, not only for you, but that also generates respect and trust with the community.
Yeah, you don't want to end up on the BBB's list of, a bad business. Tabitha, what advice would you give to other folks coming to Pitch Palooza?
That no matter what, I want to focus again on what he said, but no matter what, just do the thing, because everybody in that room was very supportive. supportive. I mean, I didn't know what half of their businesses were. Me, like personally, I got to know them and we visited a little bit, but every single person was so supportive in the room and afterwards. Nobody's there to, you know, I know the judges are there to kind of give you some feedback, but even that, even the things that were things you could work on were still done in a kind way, and everybody in that audience is there to cheer you on. So even though it's super scary, especially if you aren't great at public speaking, it's a terrifying thing to do. Again, you're valuable enough to do that and take the steps, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Just show up and just get out there and have a lot of fun and enjoy the moment, and understand that no matter if you win or not, you're still going to make great connections that are going to help you, as long as you do what Erin said, which was visit with everybody. You know, just be brave, because everybody is there with a little bit of a dream, and you never know how you could even help each other, regardless if you win or not in the future.
I hear you all saying you believed in your idea. You know, you have faith in it. Did you have to tweak your idea at all? And do you have any goals for reshaping it for the future?
The idea that I had been there for 20 years. I had wanted to do it that whole time, and I just wasn't confident enough. And getting in front of people with that idea finally and saying, okay, this is it. What feedback do you have that can help me? I've been able to launch. I've been able to be successful over the last year. It's been wonderful. So I would just continue to tell people to get out there and do that.
Taylor, your goals for your business?
Our goals is just to keep things going, keep growing. Just based on our first year to our second year, we more than 5 times the amount of business.
Awesome.
So we hope to keep that kind of growth on track.
Yeah. And Tabitha, what's your goal?
Yeah, so my goal is just, again, we all want to continue to grow to a certain level. That's, you know, supporting us, I would say. But also, even deeper than that, when I went to the competition, I had a pretty basic idea of what I wanted to pitch, you know, that had to do with my business and was just a different take on it. And they helped me narrow that down to a point where I immediately went home and I thought it over. I joined the chamber. I did a lot of networking events because it came, the winning came with its chamber membership. But it helped me narrow down so much that I just immediately started working on those things. I didn't know that what I went in there to pitch was something I wanted to do for 20 years. I'm not so lucky. But it was a little idea I had, a spark that I had probably for the last couple of years before the event, the competition. So going in there with this little bit of an idea, I didn't even have like a prototype that I took with me. So if you can do that, definitely bring something to show, like to physically show. But that was one of the feedback that I got. Was like, if you would have had something. But I will say that continues to be a goal that we've worked on and even advanced further. Just, you know, got deeper with our branding, got deeper with who we're inviting to be in our group of encouragers, because that's what I think pull out of it most, is a group of people to cheer you on, because it's really hard to kind of do by yourself, you know?
Well, congratulations to all of you. Thank you for sharing your journeys with us. Appreciate you being here. And that wraps up this edition of Newsmakers. If you would like to participate in the competition, the deadline to register is coming soon. So go online to mssutraining.com and look for that tab for Pitch Palooza. Thanks to our guests, and thank you for watching Newsmakers.